This is First Coast Math Clinic with lesson number 7 continued, graphing linear equations with the x and y intercept, medium difficulty, from Unit 7 graphing. So in this video, we're going to continue with lesson 7 from Unit 7, graphing linear equations by finding the x and y intercept, and we're going to work on some slightly more difficult problems. If you want a review of graphing using the x and y intercepts, you can check out the link for the video that's going to appear right now, as well as at the end of this video. All right, let's get into these examples. So for number 1, my equation is in standard form. So remember, our x and y values are on the same side. So that gives us an indication we want to find the x and y intercepts. So let's start by finding our x-intercept. So our x-intercept, we know y is equal to 0. So our solution, one of our solutions, our ordered pair, will fill in the y coordinate with 0, and then take that y value, that 0, plug it in for y, and we want to solve for x. So we'll have negative 4x plus 6 times 0 equals 12. 6 times 0 is 0, so we can get rid of that. We've got negative 4x equals 12, divide by negative 4 and negative 4. Negative 4 and negative 4 divide out to 1, and we're left with negative 3. So that's our x coordinate, so we get negative 3, 0. And now let's find our y-intercept. So at our y-intercept, we know x is equal to 0. So in our solution, or our second ordered pair, let's put that 0 in for x. And now that 0 is going to go in for this x. So I'm going to have negative 4 times 0 plus 6y equals 12. Negative 4 times 0 is 0, so I'm left with 6y equals 12. Divide by 6 and 6. 6 and 6 divide out to 1, so we can just get rid of the 6's, and we get y equals 2. Now remember from the previous video, common solution is people will see, well, x is negative 3, y is 2, and they'll put the solution together like this. Negative 3, 2, taking that negative 3, taking that 2. We do not want to do that. We want two solutions. We don't want to put the negative 3 and the 2 together. So we're going to take this 2, put it back into this ordered pair. So my solution is 0, 2, and negative 3 is 0. And let's plot these points. So we'll call this point A, this point B. So A, negative 3, 0. 1, 2, 3. Remember, just review of coordinate planes. That's x. That's y. No, it isn't. Just kidding. Let's try that again. That's y. That's x. That's positive direction. That's negative direction. That's a positive direction. That's a negative direction. So if I'm plotting point A, negative 3, 1, 2, 3, and 0. So point A is right here. And B, 0, 2, x is 0, y is 2, up 1, 2, B is right here. So this is our graph. Of negative 4x plus 6y equals 12 by identifying the x-intercept and y-intercept. All right, let's get into our second example. So for our second example, we've got a fraction as a coefficient. So 3 over 5x plus 2y equals 6. So we're going to solve this the same way. Again, we notice that x and y are on the same side. Our equation is in standard form, so we want to find our x and y intercepts. So let's find our x-intercept. Let's substitute 0 in for y. So again, I'm going to take that 0, put it in for y. So I'll have 3/5 x plus 2 times 0 equals 6. 2 times 0 is 0, so we can get rid of that. And we get 3/5 x equals 6. So I want to, I'm multiplying by 3/5. There's a couple different ways that we can do this. If I want to undo multiplying by 3/5, I can multiply by the reciprocal here. So I can multiply by 5 over 3 and 5 over 3. Okay, so now when I multiply straight across, on the left, I'm going to get 15 over 15x, and 15 divided by 15 is just 1, right? So that's going to cancel out. So I'm left with x equals. Now on the right, I'll put that 6 over 1, and we're going to multiply straight across. 6 times 5 and 1 times 3. 6 times 5 is 30. 1 times 3 is 3. And then 30 divided by 3 is going to give me 10. So I'll get 10 and 0 as my x-intercept. Now our y-intercept, x is equal to 0. So I'm going to take this x value, 0, put it in for x. So let's do 3/5 times 0 plus 2y equals 6. 3/5 times 0 is 0. So I'm left with 2y equals 6. Divide by 2, divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is just 1, so we can get rid of the 2. And we're left with y equals 3. And I forgot to write my order pair here, so my original x value was 0, and my y value is 3. So my solution here should be 0, 3. So my a coordinate is going to be 10, 0. My b coordinate is going to be 0, 3. So on my coordinate plane, it's y, that's x, that's the positive direction and negative direction. Positive direction and negative direction. So point A is 10, 0. So x is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to estimate 10 is going to be right about here. Okay. So that's A. And then B is 0, 3. X is 0, y is 3. So 0, then up 1, 2, 3. So that's B. And then we could just sketch in this line, connecting point A to point B. And that's our graph of 3/5 x plus 2y equals 6 by finding the x-intercept and y-intercept. All right, let's do one more example. So here for number 3, we've got two fractional coefficients for this example, negative 2/3 x plus 1/4 y equals 2. Again, x and y values are on the same side, so we want to use the x and y intercepts to graph this. So let's find our x-intercept first. Y equals 0. So let's fill in our solution with y equals 0. So my y value is 0. So my equation should be negative 2/3 x plus 1/4 times 0 equals 2. Well, 1/4 times 0 is 0, so I'm left with just negative 2/3 x equals 2. So an easy way I can get rid of this negative 2/3 and get the x by itself is I can multiply by the reciprocal. So I can multiply by negative 3/2 and times negative 3/2. Put this 2/1. Negative times a negative is a positive. So on the left, I'm going to multiply straight across. 3 times 2 and 2 times 3. 3 times 2 and 2 times 3 gives me 6/6x, and a negative times a negative is a positive. Now I've got a positive times a negative, so my solution is going to be negative. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. 6 divided by 6 is 1, so we can get rid of that. And I've got x equals negative 6 divided by 2 should give me negative 3. So my x value is negative 3. Now let's find our y-intercept. So our x-coordinate is 0. So in our solution, x is 0, and we've got to figure out y. So we're going to take that value 0, plug it in for x. So I'll have negative 2/3 times 0 plus 1/4 y equals 2. Negative 2/3 times 0 is 0, so we can get rid of that. And then we've got 1/4 y equals 2. So I'm multiplying by 1/4. Well, how do I get rid of multiplying by 1/4? I can again multiply by the reciprocal, so times 4 over 1 times 4 over 1. Put that 2 over 1. On the left, 4 times 1, 1 times 4. And I get 4 over 4 y. 4 over 4 divides out to just 1. And on the right, 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. 8 over 1 is just going to be 8. So my y value is 8 here. So my solution, well, this point A is negative 3, 0. And B is 0, 8. So again, let's graph this. That's the y-axis, x-axis, positive, negative, positive, negative. A is negative 3, 0. 1, 2, 3. So that's A, and B is 0, 8. So x is 0, y is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's B. Let's connect these. And that's our graph for number 3, negative 2/3 x plus 1/4 y equals 2 by finding the x-intercept and y-intercept. All right. So this was lesson 7, graphing linear equations by finding the x and y-intercept with a medium difficulty from unit 7, graphing linear equations. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. First Coast Math Clinic.